And today we're going to be talking about nutrition, particularly how we eat and the subject of how to select what foods are best for your body. We're going to cover an idea called intuitive eating, awareness eating, and to help you find out what is the best way for you to eat, to be healthier, to be happier, and to fit your lifestyle. Intuitive eating is basically exactly what it sounds. We are using our intuition to decide on what to eat. I think we both have tried a lot of different diets, and the first thing I want to say about that is that nothing is wrong with all the different diets out there, because there's so many different people and people have different needs. And so therefore, to follow a certain diet because of the benefits that we find in that diet, a lot of times is looking at it in just one perspective. But there are so many other variables that we need to consider that ultimately it becomes really confusing on what diet is right for us. We want to share something that both Steve and I do, which is intuitive eating. And that is using your intuition to decide what is good for you. So for me, it means feeling into my body and let my feelings in my body decide on what food I should eat and not eat. To look at eating as just having some guidelines to help us to be able to figure out what food is good for you. I think the first thing you talked about was like feeling. I think feeling is one of the biggest ones. Does your stomach feel okay? Like I talked about, do you feel bloated? Do you feel like you can't digest it? The second thing is the energy that you have, right? After you eat the food, how do you feel on your energy level? If you feel super tired, check to look at the amount first. Sometimes you don't need to change a thing except just eat a little less. So let's say you ate less and you still feel super tired. That is a sign that that food is making you feel really heavy. You also have to look at whether or not you enjoy it. So far, I think we covered three simple things. The way it makes you feel in your body, digestion-wise, right? How's it digest in your body? Second is the energy level. Does it increase your energy level or does it decrease? And the third thing is, do you enjoy it? If you don't enjoy it, now you got a problem. So you got to go ahead and make sure you cover that as well. Well, what about macros? What about protein? What about carbs? Fats. Is that something that you consider? So for somebody like me who's came from the bodybuilding world, it's something that I was highly considering and that I always ate with macros for the longest time. About 7 years ago, I decided to throw it out the window just to see what would happen. That's also when I went vegetarian, or I went vegan, then vegetarian. And I found that it did make a difference in my body. I stopped eating meat, I started eating a lot of vegetables, I started eating fruits, and my body did feel much lighter. I felt more cleaner. There was a sense of clarity in my mind. Now, I'm not saying that everybody go ahead and become vegan or vegetarian. I'm just saying that's what happened to me. And since then, I tried upping the protein. Now I'm eating a lot of eggs because I like eggs. That was part of my rules, right? Something you enjoy. And I still like vegetables. I still don't eat meat, but I like eating eggs. So it doesn't matter that we follow certain macros. I think that when it comes to the way you want to look, your aesthetics, if you want to lose weight or gain weight, also if you're active or not active, I think it does make a big difference. If I want to go and lean down, what I do is I cut out the carbs, I cut out the sugars, and I eat a lot of fats. And then about the third day or so, I introduce carbs back in and I have my carb loading day. And this is something I've done for many, many years in bodybuilding. And this has helped me shred down very, very quickly. Now, if I'm super, super active, I may go and eat carbs every second day. And there might be just times where I kind of throw this diet out the window because I'm so active that the energy level is not being sustained from fat. So again, I go back into, I have a guideline of how to eat, but I still at the end listen to my body, listen to what's going on. And if I'm eating my meal and I don't feel satisfied, it doesn't feel like I'm refueled, I will go and break the rules and in this case, go eat some sugar. I'd have a bottle of honey that's sitting on my desk all the time. I sit there, it looks like a whiskey bottle. I'm sitting there chugging bottles of honey. I do it all the time, you know. I've got two. I've got one upstairs and one in my office. So that's what I mean. Going back into wrapping up the session, there are still guidelines that I follow, and I think Stephen follows the same way. But ultimately, when it comes to intuitive eating or awareness eating, or you still want to see what's really happening in your energy levels and what's happening in your body to make the ultimate decision.